When Maki Sudjonga and his sister Charlotte ran to greet their brother Bahati in the arrivals terminal at Boise Airport late last Thursday night, they were joined by a crowd of 100, mostly Americans, who burst into cheers. Usually, a moment like this, 3 refugee siblings uniting for the first time on U.S. soil, goes down without the crowd or the fanfare. But last Thursday, Bahati was to be the very last refugee to arrive in Boise, and among the last to arrive in the U.S., before the resettlement program was suspended for 4 months following a White House order. Late Friday, a federal judge in Seattle issued a ruling that temporarily blocks President Donald Trump's order, and airlines in Europe and the Middle East resumed allowing passengers with valid travel documents to fly to the U.S. from countries that had been blocked. Refugees like Bahati are arriving amid a legal battle over President Trump's order, and as the nation weighs its own security concerns against a tradition of welcoming immigrants. Bahati and his older siblings fled the Democratic Republic of Congo as children in 2005, after their parents were killed in a village massacre. They lived for 12 years in a refugee camp in Uganda. Maki and Charlotte were brought to Boise in September, and it wasn't until recently that they learned their brother would join them in the U.S. last week.
This embodies the spirit of America.
All this seems fitting, that Bahati would be among the last to make it to the U.S., that he would arrive with such excitement and a community wanting to welcome him with open arms. His name, after all, means lucky in Swahili. Hours earlier, and over 2,000 miles away, with no welcoming committee and no family, Joshua Mahinanda Kangere, another refugee from the Democratic Republic of Congo, arrived at John F. Kennedy International Airport. Joshua had no idea he had entered a country in the midst of a heated debate over whether he should be here. After a 2-hour taxi drive north, he arrived at his new home, a small 3-bedroom apartment in Bridgeport, Connecticut, that I'll share with 3 other refugees. There, Deo Biakisakayo, another Congolese refugee, and Joshua's case manager with the International Institute of Connecticut, began walking him through his transition in their native Swahili.
Japokuwa niko na mafikiri lakini na nipunguzia. Nimefurahia sana, nimefurahi.
It's been 7 years since Joshua has had a home. He worked as a nurse in the Congo, but was forced to flee to Kenya in 2010 after he was threatened by soldiers. He says he left everything behind, including his 10 children. He's been in limbo since, and none of it, Joshua says, has been easy.
Hata naweza sema nilianza jiuliza, hata sijui kwa nini naishi. Sina familia, sina maisha. Hata mara nyingi nilikuwa nafikiria kujua. Napenda sana familia yangu sana. Na watoto wangu walikuwa wananipenda sana. Nilitumai nikifika Amerika, maybe naweza kutulia, nione vile naweza tafuta watoto wangu.
First, he'll have to find work. Refugees receive just $950 from the federal government when they arrive, and this small room costs $350 a month. After he puts down last month's rent and a security deposit, he'll have just $200 to his name in less than 24 hours of landing in America. Still, he's hopeful. This, he says, is where it all starts.
I'm so happy. Kama Bible nasema kesho inajua venye itakuwa. So ile yenye itakuja, najua tunaenda nayo.